welcome to Sestra-Tainment.
Sestra-Tainment.
I'm Lenora.
And I'm Dee.
And we're coming to you today in regards to everything entertainment.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, and so this week I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I wanted to actually talk about a book this time, first and foremost. So normally I don't talk about books. I think this might be the first time that I'm going to talk about a book. But basically, I was looking at maybe the Today Show or something, and they were talking about this book called Killers of a Certain Age. And so I was like, that sounds kind of interesting, you know, in regards to a book. And so basically what it does, they kind of talked about the story enough that made me decide, okay, maybe this is something that I want to check out. So they had just mentioned in a high, brief scenario that it was a book about women who were assassins. And they would go around for like the CIA, basically, or a government agency of the CIA called the Museum. Okay. And they would, which the CIA wasn't even really involved in. It was like a separate branch that could do whatever they wanted to do.
It's like the Gray Man.
Yeah.
You seen Gray Man? Okay.
I didn't see it, but I know you talked about it. Yep. And so, but basically, these women were getting older. So they're like in their 60s and they're ready to retire. But guess what? Now they're after them to assassinate them because they know too much.
It is just like Gray Man.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, that's how Gray Man is.
Interesting. Okay, yep. So that's really what the story is about. So it follows these four women, and they basically are going from being teenagers on here, and they're teens, they're living their lives, some of them are getting into a little bit of trouble, and doing some things, and they go through this one story of this guy approaching a girl and saying, hey, look, have you ever thought about being a part of some kind of group or organization, and we would teach you everything you needed to know and whatever, because she was kind of doing little things she shouldn't be doing. And so basically when he brought that to her attention, she was like, I don't know, like right now I'm just doing small petty things, and you're basically trying to talk me into like being an assassin and a murderer. And they were kind of just talking to him about, you're a murderer, but you're kind of a murderer for good. Like we're taking out the evil people, the bad people.
Yeah, but how do you know who's evil?
I know. Like how can you trust that whoever they're telling you to take out
is actually evil?
Is really evil. Gosh. Exactly. And so they started with this story that was before the ladies are retiring, where they're like in an airplane. And so with the airplane, they have the pilot, they have the, stewardesses. It's like a small jet, like really like a private jet. And so these men, these Russian oligarchs basically that are on there, and they're, talking and, engaging with the women and kind of flirty and too handsy and all that kind of stuff. And so the women are like, we didn't expect that, like, somebody was going to have a bodyguard, So the guy comes on with his bodyguard and a few other people that they weren't really prepared for. So then the whole visual scene, I guess you would say, as you're reading it, is about how they're trying to take these guys out. And they're like, it really doesn't matter how we take them out because we're going to crash the plane anyway. Yeah. So it's kind of like whether we shoot them, which we're not supposed to do, because then when they find the bodies, they'll see a gunshot. So really can't do it that way, but they were trying to get a needle into a person's neck. Well, one of the guys realized what they were trying to do, the bodyguards, so then they have to both kind of come after him.
It's like a TV show.
Oh my gosh. But it was so interesting. Like, well, first of all, I didn't read it, but I audiobooked it. About it. Because I do audiobooks. I read the book through audiobook. I guess that's the way to say it. And I like doing that mainly because you can hear the different dialects and tones and voices. Yeah. So like when one lady is Helen and she's talking, they sound one way. And then, another lady, Natalie, sounds a whole different way, So as people are talking, you just hear different tones. And that to me was interesting. And also with the audiobook, they had where one person was narrating their 60-year-old selves and one person was narrating the 20 or teenage
Oh, that's
version.
Awesome. That's good.
So that way, when you heard a certain voice, you were like, there's
what time
back.
it was. Yeah, what time
Yeah, because in a movie, you would see it because they would show you different ages.
That is so smart.
But they had two different women telling it. The only part I didn't like about the book was that the narrator for the 60-year-old women sound like she was like 40. So I kind of almost wish that they had somebody
with an older voice.
Yeah, because I was forgetting that they were retiring.
Yeah,
because I was hearing such a young voice.
But then also you got to think about like that age there. I feel like that voice is not what it used to be. You're thinking like 80-year-old.
No.
But like mentally, you just want to hear that older.
I just wanted to hear a different voice than what I heard. The lady did an excellent job.
Yeah.
Narrating it, but I just felt like it needed to be slightly older, because even when she was talking, she almost sounded too like, oh, I'm being sexy, and I was just like, yeah, but that's not what they're trying to be right now. They're like, well, in a couple of instances they were trying to be that way, but it's like, oh, use what you got, kind of thing. But I thought it was a really interesting book, and so I would recommend it for anybody who is looking for a book that you might want to, that goes into that, as long as you're not queasy about hearing about death and murders and blood and gore, because she does kind of walk through that a little bit. I forgot to say who the author was of it. The author of the book is Deanna Raybourn. Thank you. I was trying to find her last name, but Deanna Raybourn. And so, but yeah, it's a pretty good book. She said she worked with different people who had been a part of the government agencies and people who did different types of fighting and things like that, so that way when she talked about the women and how they would do a roundabout kick, or they would do this or do that, or come around the back and stab somebody here or whatever, like that it would be realistic enough that if somebody truly did that type of work, that they would read it and be like, oh yeah, that's kind of how I would have done it too.
I wonder if they're going to make this into a movie.
I don't know. I feel like it could be something that even you would have like
or like a TV show.
Yeah.
And then like each week could be a different lady.
It could be, or it could be that like you start off with the women and start with them in the first few seasons, just following them.
Just following them,
when they're younger, as they get old. I mean, come on, Game of Thrones jumps you 6 years in episode. So why couldn't they just do first season this age, second season this age, third season this age?
Like The Crown.
Yeah, exactly. And then as they get older, when you're ready to wrap everything up,
HBO grabbed this.
Becomes Killers of a Certain Age.
Redeem yourself.
It really, if you think about it, Killers of a Certain Age could be young killers.
Yeah.
Killers of a Certain Age could be the old killers too.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, it was really interesting to follow their story. I mean, it was everything from skydiving out of planes before they crashed to them having to get on a cruise ship and navigate that and then the ship starts to sink, and then it's all these different scenarios and situations that happen, and then you're looking at stuff and they're like, oh yeah, the pilot blah 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 blah, or this person da 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 da, and then you're like, wait, is that person the person who's now trying to kill them? Or is that because it was somebody who might have been a part of their team, or is that person not a part of maybe they're part of the KGB, and you're thinking this is just a normal pilot, but the pilot actually could be a part of the KGB.
That's so
much.
Then
it's like, so because everybody could be after the same people.
I feel like if you had a job like that, you are like, it has to be so stressful. You're thinking that everybody's going to kill you.
Yep, exactly.
Your whole life you're walking around just thinking people are going to kill you.
Watching over your shoulder and everything. It's like the Americans.
I'm walking around, I'm going to die. I already know.
Pretty much, yeah. Because even where they, because they were like, oh, we could call some of our friends from the agency that we kind of trust and are thinking that, they would be, good to help us. Yeah. And it's like, but can you? But then you talk to somebody and they're like, well, we have a bounty on your heads. So if you kill one of them, this is how much you get. But if you kill all four, so is there a way you could get all four of them to show up somewhere, So that's the kind of interesting thing that goes on with this.
That's so much.
Yeah.
It seems so stressful.
Because, like she was sitting at a table with a person she just knew.
So she has no family, right? You can't have a family if you work for the CIA.
Funny enough, one of the ladies, she actually has a wife who has no idea.
No idea at all.
That this is what she does for a living.
Okay.
One of them has a wife and child. The other ones, I can't recall them mentioning. Oh, one has a husband, but I think he knows everything.
Oh, and then we talked about a lady who did the CIA thing, and she was talking about it in a documentary, and like her husband never knew. Thought she was a banker.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, there are things that people are doing. I mean, they're amongst us. They could be your next door neighbor,
exactly.
and they're like the
Might
Americans
be our neighbor right
too.
now that we have that we barely ever see.
Where's he at? What's going on? Different car all the
Different,
time.
different car. Is the car there? Oh, the car's not there.
Oh,
Never heard him leave.
The car's not there for 3 weeks. Oh, now the car's back. Oh, it's a different car.
Wait, that's not him.
Oh, now there's a woman.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Why is there a little child?
Oh my gosh. So anyway, that's what I had. Killers of a Certain Age by Deanna Rayborn.
Right.
And I'll pass it over to you, Sweets.
All right. So I want to talk about the funniest thing that I've seen.
Okay.
It's a mockumentary, and it's done by Childish Gambino and the Atlanta cast.
Okay.
So it's episode 8. You can watch Atlanta on Hulu, then it's on FX. So it's episode 8. Now this is it's called The Goof Who Sat by the Door. That's the name of it.
The Goof Who Sat by the Door. Okay.
Yes. Okay, now this is a mockumentary about the making of the Goofy movie.
Oh, okay. Yep. Uh-huh.
And the first Disney black CEO.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. None of this is real.
None of this is real, but they're just,
But how they put it together, it's so funny.
Feels real. It seems real.
It could be real. All right, so how this ends up happening is that there are 2 men, and the 2 men's name are Tom Washington. One black guy, one white guy.
Okay.
They wanted Tom Washington to be the CEO.
Okay.
But they didn't know that Tom Washington was like Tomford or something like that, and the other one was Thomas. So they put down Thomas, not thinking about, like, all they know is Tom. They don't know, like, the actual first name.
Okay.
So they put that down. Everybody votes. Now, Thomas is the CEO. This is the black man.
Oh, and it was supposed to be Tom.
Yeah. But I don't know if it was Tomford. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, whatever it was
but what is so hilarious is that if you look up pictures of it, he's sitting on like the big table, like in the conference room, and it's like all these executives, these older white executives, all around him, and he's doing like the jailhouse pose with his peace sign up.
Oh my God. What episode did you say it was?
This is episode 8. This is episode 8.
Okay.
Yeah, the Goof Who Sat by the Door. All right. So what is so funny about this is how they made it like all come into play. Okay. So they're making it seem like, the CEO, Tom Washington, he wanted to do something for his son. He wanted to do a movie that his son could like enjoy, and it's not going to be anything like it's going to be a movie for like
a family.
But people of color.
People of color. Okay.
So as he's doing this, he's like, they're going camping. They're doing this stuff that he wanted to do with his son. So him doing that, then it keeps going, and then he was like, "Hey, look, I don't want to see the little dance. We don't dance like that. Look at this." And then he's like getting his legs and like doing like a little stinky leg thing. He's like, "Draw this.
Draw me doing the stinky leg."
Then one guy, he's like, "I think I drew 2 gloves dapping up about 5,000 times."
Oh my God.
So it's just cute and funny how they do all this, but it does have some like little sentimental things in there where you have the son, you have the ex-wife and everything. I will say this. The people who they had in there, Eric Berryman doesn't say anything. Okay. But he is the one who plays Tom Washington.
Seriously?
I don't remember him. Oh, the only thing that he said was draw this.
Draw this. So that's it. But he's just in the room.
He's just always there. And he got one eye that's off.
Oh gosh!
I don't know if that's in real life or if that's just for
just do it. Yeah, because some people can just do that.
Yeah. All right. So some people that they have in this mockumentary to make it make you think that it's a real like documentary. Brian McKnight, your boo.
Oh, I did. I don't know if I love Brian like I used to, but Brian McKnight, he's a cutie.
Sinbad.
Oh yeah, Sinbad. Haven't seen him in forever.
And then Jenna Wortham, who is she works for CBS. I think she does. She's like a journalist for CBS.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
All right. So it makes it feel like a real documentary. But look, some of the funniest things is like one of the guys saying, "Hey, I walked into the office and there was Robert Townsend, Janet Jackson, Sinbad, and Adina Howard sitting in the office with Tom." Why would that be? I know, but I love the fact that he just like grabbed random names. Like, we're gonna do Robert Townsend because back then Robert Townsend was
Robert Townsend was the man. Yeah. 5 heartbeats.
We're gonna do Janet Jackson because it's Janet.
Miss Jackson and Nasty.
Exactly. We're gonna do Sinbad. He was the top comedian then.
Hello.
Because he was a comedian. He was the clean comedian.
Yeah, and he was always in Aruba.
Oh, always, yeah. Cut function, yeah. And then throw in Adina Howard. Come on.
Adina Howard, freak like me.
Just a little bit. Just
it's an eclectic group.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, like they but then they even like switched it to where there would be how white CEOs might say something slick to the black writers or drawers or something like that. Mm-hmm. So as soon as he goes and pops his head in, he said that Tom looks at Robert Townsend and said, "Who orders the white rice?"
What?
See, so they still made it to where it would be like if it was actually real. So I mean, it's just hilarious.
It's all over the place.
It's so funny. I love it. I would definitely say to watch this episode. If you don't watch Atlanta, just watch Atlanta. But this season,
just watch this episode. You mean?
Yeah. But I would say this with this season. I don't know if this is going to be the last season. I think I might have heard it was the last season. I heard that too, and I haven't watched it. Yeah, but with this last season, I feel like it's certain episodes for certain. Like each episode is its own entity,
standalone episode.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But then it's like the mockumentary. There's another one where they're just stuck in this weird, like kind of upside down type world where it's I don't know, it's weird. They have the Crank That Killer, where it's this guy just going around shooting people and like unaliving them that have done the Soulja Boy Crank That dance. I don't know why.
Okay.
I know. But I mean, it's
everything they wanted to put in some episodes and couldn't, they were putting in the last season.
Exactly. Okay. So check out Atlanta. Like I said, it is on Hulu and FX.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
I love it. It's funny.
All right.
So hilarious.
Well, I am going to now talk about a movie that was just recently released on Roku.
Okay.
Roku. Weird, the Al Yankovic story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
well, it's Weird Al, though. I mean,
that's the thing. So, I'm not into comedies like talking about. Like, I can watch a comedy, occasionally a rom-com, but I'm not really a laugher at comedic things. Let's put it that way. So I was like, Weird Al, I would kind of be interested to figure out the background of Weird Al and how he got even into the mindset of taking songs that are already out here and putting different words to them, like what clicked for him for that? At what age did that click for him for that? That kind of thing. So I started watching it. It's an hour and 48 minutes. Again, it's on Roku. It's a Roku original. And it has Daniel Radcliffe, who played Harry Potter, playing Weird Al. Yeah. With the curly hair, mustache, the whole 9 yards. It's really weird how he looks like him. He's just so much shorter than him. You even have Evan Rachel Wood from Westworld.
Oh, I love her. I love her.
She is playing Madonna and does an amazing job playing Madonna. You have Rainn Wilson from, oh my gosh, why did my brain just go blank? From The Office. That's what I was trying to think of, The Office. So Rainn Wilson is actually in there. He plays Dr. Demento, which was, I guess, a comedic, a radio station that would play almost like I don't even know what you would call it, but he was just like a verbal clown, I guess you would say. And he would just do weird things and honk a horn and, you're with Dr. Demento kind of thing. So Rainn Wilson played that excellent. And then when they showed real pictures of Dr. Demento, I was like, yep, that's him. Quinta Brunson is in it as Oprah Winfrey.
Okay. That's hilarious.
And she plays that. You have Lin-Manuel Miranda in it. Like
everybody's in this.
Anybody is in this freaking movie, and the movie, okay, I'll get to that in a second. So anyway, Lin-Manuel Miranda plays a doctor. You have, who else is in it? Oh, Jack Black. Jack Black is in it, playing Wolfman Jack.
Okay.
From back in the day.
But, that suits Jack Black.
Oh, he played it really good. Yeah. His voice and everything, like he played it perfectly. Conan O'Brien played Andy Warhol.
Wait, Conan played Andy Warhol.
Yes, because they put a white wig on him. And really, I was looking at it like, before I even knew it was Andy Warhol. I mean, like, you see somebody in the white wig and act in a certain weird, quirky way, you know it's Andy Warhol that they're playing.
Just monotone
but it took me a second to put together that it was Conan. And
I was
like,
okay.
oh, that's
Did they have
Conan.
any prosthetics or anything on him?
No, I think it was just,
Conan.
he was pasty looking with the white wig, but I just wasn't clicking it and putting it together. But you have Patton Oswalt, and he's just playing like a biker in there. Yeah. But I'm just talking about some of the people that are in there. Will Forte.
Yeah, God,
he's in there playing one of the Scott brothers. I mean, it's like everybody. Dot Marie Jones, who's a comedian. Like, all these comedians, basically.
I love how Weird Al is playing someone totally different.
Weird Al is playing a Scott brother executive who was basically telling him, nah, I don't think that we're going to be interested in you. Initially, they told him that he needed to go and sell out some shows, like go to some shows, sell some tickets. And if your kind of music can sell some tickets, even though you sent it to one radio station, if your music can sell some tickets, then okay, we'll go ahead and sign you to the record label. But basically, so it's kind of one of those things that anybody who's a comic kind of wanted to show up for Weird Al, basically. So it's a lot of cameos in this movie.
But I mean, even besides the cameos, the names that I see of people who are supposed to be in this, so they got, it's like a Diana Ross part of it.
They have a Diana Ross
Hulk
part,
Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Like, this is crazy. I love it though.
It's all of the, well, here's the thing though. So this is the part that it was frustrating to watch.
Okay.
So he comes on at the beginning as today's Weird Al Yankovic and says, hey, this is an absolutely true, no falseness, no fake anything, like documentary about my life. So you already know he's doing some stuff probably too elaborate.
Yeah, of course.
Because nobody writes a documentary about themselves.
That's him though.
Accurately. I mean, Straight Outta Compton didn't talk about some of the stuff that Dr. Dre was doing.
Very true.
And they were involved in that. So why would you Weird Al Yankovic give all his dirty laundry out there? So anyway, so long story short, and nobody does that. I mean, every documentary where the person that it's about is involved, it's going to be edited. Period. So
of
what
course,
happened
no lawsuits.
was, you start watching it, you're like, oh, okay. So he had a kind of challenging relationship with his mother, where she kind of supported him, but really would say weird, horrible things at the same time. So that was very weird. Then you had his father, who basically was like, you need to just come work in the factory. I don't know what's wrong with you, kind of thing. I already lost my hand in the factory, and you should come on over there.
Dad lost his hand?
I'll get to that in a second. So anyway, it's all these things that, happened supposedly in his childhood. And then you just, the more you watch it, the more you're like, I don't know if any of this is true. Because I felt like it was a docu-parody. I think that's a new word.
Okay, I like it.
So I had to think about it, because I was like, what is this?
Yeah, because all his songs are parodies. So I love it.
So I think it's a docu-parody because he ends up, it's just the weirdest. I mean, it's Weird Al. So you're expecting it to be weird. But it's like quirky weird, corny weird, and then just straight up weird. So like at one point you have like a corny weird, which is like, Dr. Benito or whatever I said his name was, Rainn Wilson's character. He's just like, hey, maybe Al Yankovic is just too long of a name. I don't even know why you have such a long name. Just doesn't make any sense. And, Weird Al's like, sorry. So he's like, you know what we should call you? Weird Al Yankovic. Well, if Al Yankovic was too long of a name, why are you now saying? So, corny stuff like that would be in there. But then it was just weird stuff. Like, all of a sudden, he's dating Madonna. And you're like, did he date Madonna? So it's almost like he threw it in there so that he could see how many times people Google, did Weird Al Yankovic date Madonna? And like, it's like that kind of things just pop up. And then it's like, but then it becomes, does she really want to date you, or does she want to use you? Because every time you did a parody, you had they called it the Yankovic bump.
Oh, yeah.
Which was, I took a Queen song and I did a parody of it. So it was another one rides the bus. So when you do, and another one gets on, and another one's on, and another one rides the bus, or whatever, however he sung it. But it's like, if if we do a parody of it, all of a sudden the original song boosts in sales because people are reminded of how much they love the original song. So that's
but then you get money too for using the music,
so
right?
then it became that a lot of people wanted him to do parodies of their song because they knew it would give them a boost in their royalties.
That's true.
So they were like, was
smart.
Madonna dating him because? And in this movie, I don't even know if they dated.
I feel like
I didn't
he
even
did
Google
like a virgin. Or
but
something.
maybe it was like because he did do something like that for like a version. So, and that's what she was saying. This is my new song. Have you heard it? Whatever. But then it became all of a sudden they were dating. Then Pablo Escobar shows up.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Pablo Escobar. What the heck?
And then she gets kidnapped. And then all these crazy things happen. And I'm like, okay, none of this stuff
Madonna
happened.
got kidnapped?
That's what I'm saying. None of this stuff happened. So it is like a docu-parody.
Yeah, I love that.
So it's just...
You heard it here first, Docu-Parody.
Docu-Parody. If anybody else uses it, you heard it on Sestra-Tainment first.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, that's what it felt like. So it was like, okay, there are parts of truth weaved in to a parody of his life. For example, I'm going to give one thing.
I like that.
That was, he said, here's a totally original song that I came up with that no one's ever heard before. It's called Eat It. And he plays Eat It. Just eat it, eat it. They show the video with him in the red jacket, and he's saying it's his original song that nobody else had ever come out with it. And then a few weeks later, now Michael Jackson's biting off me. Now he's releasing something that's going to make it seem like my song came after his.
I love this.
So that's kind of the weirdness of it. So you're like watching it, and some parts you're like, oh, I can believe that happened. And there's other parts that you're like, there's no way this happened. We all know that he wrote it because of that. And then they go into how his father was Amish. And it's like, oh, so is that how he came up with a song about spending most of our lives living in an Amish paradise? So then it's like, but did he really come up with that song because his father's Amish? Or did he already have that song, and to make this movie, he decided to make his father Amish?
Yeah, that's true.
You see what I'm saying? So then they go through all his different songs, because Like a Virgin became Like a Surgeon,
Yeah, just eat it.
Cut for the very first time, all that kind of stuff.
But that's cute, though. So, but, I like it, though. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to have to watch it.
Okay, I can't 100% recommend it to most people because, if you like weirdness, quirkiness, the Weird Al kind of things, that'll make you kind of chuckle. Okay. If you're looking for something with some substance that you can walk away and say, I have a better understanding of who Weird Al Yankovic is.
Absolutely. No, I have a better understanding just from you saying this. I get him completely.
I have no understanding of who he is. You just
want people to know that you just do what you want.
Yeah.
And you make fun of stuff, and it's funny. Because you got to think about it. How many times have people been, making a song out of just random stuff?
Right.
Like, how many times we made Cheeky Weeky into a song?
Yeah. Well, and that's, funny you say that, because what happened is he loved playing the accordion as a child. Wasn't supposed to. His father didn't want him to, but his mom went ahead and bought it and told him just be quiet.
Accordion.
Yeah, an accordion, because, that was his thing. So, basically, playing the accordion, he learned how to rip on the accordion really fast. He could just do whatever. And they show an example of that too. But what happened is that he was with his college roommates, because now he could do whatever he wants. He's grown. So he's with his college roommates, and the roommates are like, hey man, go fix us a sandwich, whatever. So he's in there fixing a sandwich, and My Sharona comes on. So all of a sudden, he pulls out the accordion, because he just would get these, he would hear a song and automatically other words would go on top of it. So when it was My Sharona, he was like, I'm making them, he said, what kind of, is this your bologna, such and such? And they were like, yes, my bologna, with My Sharona showing, in playing in the background. So he was like, my bologna. And he was like, the toast is done, and it's my bologna.
Love it,
and it was about making a bologna sandwich, basically. And so, was it truly that he got his inspiration because his college roommates wanted a bologna sandwich? Or was it that
he just made it
he just
that way,
thought, oh, bologna, because that's what he said. There's no word that rhymes with virgin. That's what he first said. Then, of course, he has to bump into Lin-Manuel Miranda, and he's like, oh, a surgeon. Rhymes with the virgin. Okay. So as he had different things happen in his life, I think that's what happened, is as things happened in his life, he was like, oh, this could play on this. So how can I make that into a full song?
See, yeah, he's an actual songwriter. I mean, it's,
he's a songwriter.
He's a comedian and a songwriter.
Right. That I think that obviously a lot of people hold him in extremely high regard, which is why on his Docu-Parody,
right.
So many famous people on here. Like you'll just be watching it and then randomly be like, "Oh, is that such and such?" Like, "Oh, is that it?" Oh, they got them in it. And they could be in there for 5 seconds.
Yeah. But they just pop in, pop out.
So anyway,
I remember being younger and somebody like on the school bus having the Weird Al CD.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and like listening to it on the school bus.
Yeah, I can believe it. Yeah. But yeah, so he was really, really popular back in the day, and they were saying things in the movie that I was like, well, I don't know if that's true, but they were like, oh, he outsold the Beatles for this. He had 5 platinums, blah, blah, blah.
I believe the platinum.
And then I was just like, oh my gosh, but it was so weird and different, and nobody else was doing it, of course, that it was like something like, oh yeah, of course. What's his next one? What new song that's a hot song? Like what Beyonce song, if he was still doing it today, would he be doing? Or what, Cardi B or what Taylor Swift.
The thing is that there are people on social media now doing that.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
he started that.
Yeah, he started it.
Everybody gotta give this shout out.
You gotta give your props to Mr.
Give out your flowers.
Albert Yankovic.
Yeah, there you go. But
there you go. So that's what I have. So weird.
The
Al Yankovic story.
It. And would you say it's on Roku?
On Roku. Yeah.
All right. So what I have for my last one is we're gonna go down a little bit.
Are we on last one? No, this is your second one, isn't it?
My second one? Oh, this is my second one. I've already checked off
are we
one.
Further on
All right, so let's go down one. Okay. All right. So this is something that's going on. So it's all in the media and everything. It's been talked about a lot today. So Ramses Ja and Quentin Ward, they're hosts of this weekly. It's a racial
commentary.
but it's like a radio show. It's like a racial justice radio show.
Oh, okay.
So and it's called Civic Cipher.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Okay, now with these guys, they were gifted the trademark White Lives Matter for the use of it not being for the trademark, so you can't use it on clothing. So they were gifted this because of the whole Kanye West thing, and everything. So that's how it all started off. Yeah, Kanye West wearing the phrase on the back of a T-shirt. It became a thing. It blew up and everything. Yeah. So, but the thing is that they were like, bro, like, chill. You gotta calm down. But the main thing is that mental health is a real thing. Yeah. There should be more people coming together to help Kanye, not argue with him about let him do what he wants to do. But I will say with this is these two guys have now said that if anyone uses that trademark on any clothing, they will get a lawsuit.
Yeah, they'll sue them because they're supposed to get paid for it.
Yeah.
And so have the permission to give it out. So do they know who gifted it to them?
Anonymous.
So somebody purchased the trademark.
Yep.
And then gifted it to them so that they can be good stewards.
Yeah, I guess because if they have a platform, because they are they are on radio.
Yeah.
If they have a platform, I guess it was like for them to be able to get it out there more. Maybe I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, maybe to get it out there that if you use it, just know a suit is coming your way.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And like trying to get that. So they're making it to where I think they have some issues with Kanye and Candace Owens.
Because she and Kanye were both with the shirt. If I remember correctly.
So that was a whole thing. It just became a whole thing. That's why I said I wanted to go down a little bit, but I just wanted to get that information out about that because I was like, I didn't even know that you could trademark that.
You can trademark anything.
But it's only trademark for clothing use. Which how do you trademark something for just clothing?
Well, because you can't trademark what people say. So if people are chanting it walking down the street, you can't trademark that. But
what if it's on a poster?
I think it's just in print. I would think it would be print.
Okay.
I don't know enough about it to know for sure, but I'm thinking anything in print that is not authorized. Yeah. And I guess because it originally was on the T-shirt, that caused all of this conversation.
Yeah, debacle.
I'm guessing that's why they're mentioning the T-shirt. But I think that as long as it's in I mean, maybe not print in a newspaper when somebody's telling you the story.
But I mean,
but,
like, it was something like a poster or a
hat.
Thing that, something that you put out, like, on your lawn or whatever.
Yeah, okay, potentially, yeah. So,
or even like a flag or something like that. But yeah,
maybe.
but I just wanted to put that out there. But definitely, y'all pray for Kanye.
Yeah, his drink champs and all of that stuff that's going on.
But he's just, I don't know what's going on with this man, but because he ended Adidas ended their relationship with him, which I saw on Drink Champs, where he said Adidas would never be able to. I can say anti-Semitic things
and Adidas can't drop me. Yeah,
he said, let me say that again. It's like, bro.
Oh my God, don't say that again.
But you know what's so crazy? Is that on social media, there was this one person who was just like, now, do you think that because Kanye wanted to sell his own stuff himself personally?
That's what people are saying, yes.
So is he doing that in order for him to be able to sell his own stuff?
Well, that's what some people are saying, right, is that he is trying to say everything he can say in such a way, like that he's this devious mind that is saying everything he can say so everybody will drop him. He'll be free from everything. But, oh, by the way, Adidas had to drop him and pay him $200 million or something crazy. Whatever it was, they still had to pay him a lot of money. So it's like, all of his contracts, he'll get the money, but then he is a free agent to be able to do whatever he wants to do. But my thing is, if that's the case, why'd you show up at Skechers? You showed up at Skechers uninvited, and they kicked you out. Yeah. So why are you trying to hustle to them if you didn't need
I can see it now. I'm going to make Skechers blow up. It's like, bro, calm down.
Yeah,
chill.
It's not that
serious. Just make your own shoes. Just do it yourself if that's what you want to do. Stop trying to go to all these companies.
Yeah.
If you want to do that. But all these companies are not going to have you back.
Did Balenciaga get rid of them too? I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure everybody dropped them.
Yeah, because they had a very Kanye-looking Fashion Week show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they walked on dirt. They literally were walking on mounds of like muddy dirt.
What? Okay.
Walking around, and it looked very like
if people
like
just
the world was ending, right and
it's very what's the name of that?
It's like very not Mad Max, but it was.
Let's say the thing in Mad Max.
It wasn't Mad Maxy. It was more like short cropped shirts and stuff, but then it's like your arms look like they were up high and then a hoodie on or something crazy, or it was really baggy sweat clothes.
It's like Billy Porter at the like Golden Globes or whatever when you had the balls and
it wasn't fancy at all. It was just dirty. I mean, not dirty, but like regular
grunge.
I can't even say grunge. I don't know. Google it.
Okay,
Google Balenciaga.
But I don't understand. I don't understand like what. Fashion is just something that I don't understand.
Is subjective, first and foremost.
Get it. It is still art. It is art.
It can be art, and it can be trash.
Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like it is art, regardless. But then, because
it's all in the eye of the beholder, truly.
Yeah, so whoever be holding it.
It could be that somebody literally takes a piece of tape and puts it over a woman's breast and be like, this is worth $2,000.
Have you not seen that?
And someone will pay $2,000 for that. And somebody else will look at it and say, I can buy a roll of tape and do that myself.
So have you seen that? All the there's a bunch of guys that do different TikToks. And that's what they do is they go ahead and they will take something from a fashion like runway thing, and then they'll take household items and put them all over their body to make it look like that.
Yeah, there was a woman on, I think it was Tamron Hall or something that was doing that.
It's so
recreating those looks, but with household things.
But but I mean, like, art is what his thing is. He says he's an artist. I will tell you this: he is very gifted when it comes to music. But as far as what's coming out of his mouth, I wish that he would just take his medication, speak to someone, do what he got to do, so then that way he can get through whatever he's going through.
Yeah, I know, because he, I was looking at something with Trevor Noah, because I know he's going after Trevor, and Trevor was like, I don't have a beef with Kanye. Kanye's frustrated with me, but I don't have any particular beef with him, because I think he was just saying that people need to, who are in his camp or around him need to get him the help that he needs.
Exactly, instead of being yes men.
Exactly. And so he was like, so if you have somebody who tells you that they are not themselves when they're off their meds, and they could be off their meds.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're saying things that could overall detriment their entire career, everything that they built, everything that they have while they're off their meds, and they may not naturally know that this is what they are doing. Then shouldn't those people be trying to help him?
Yeah.
And like that's all he said he was
Help
trying
him
to say was
he,
like
he hurts himself.
Yeah, because he said that's
or
what
others, or other people hurt him.
Yeah, because that's what he said. He was like, because then when something happens to somebody, everybody's like, oh, poor thing. Like nobody knew anything or nobody did anything for him. Everybody people should have said something. And he was like, so I just wanted to be somebody who said something. You know. So I mean, and I get that.
And
for
Diddy did the same thing. Diddy did the same thing on his social media. It was just like, I'm not with you doing the White Lives Matter. He was like, but I love you, brother. He was like, I've always had your back. Blah blah blah. And then Kanye texts him and goes off.
It's like.
It's just, but then he apologizes later on in another text message, and then says something about this is my grandfather speaking right now. He was like, what? How was this? What is this going on? So yeah, he's got some stuff going on. He's probably schizophrenic or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not.
Or maybe he just thinks that he's so in tune with the universe and the world that he is on a higher plateau and nobody can touch him because of the fact that he feels the energy, I guess. But I mean, like his poor kids when they grow up, oh man.
Yeah. But I can understand why Kim also is like, no, maybe you don't need to go with your dad right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know, or not maybe having him come to certain family functions and things like that. I mean, it's unfortunate.
I mean, it is unfortunate, but I mean,
because then that makes him go off more.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, it's like, you know, you got to protect the children from whatever potentially could be, because we don't know what's going on. Kanye could be in his right mind, on his meds and doing everything. Yeah. And he is that diabolical genius that everybody thinks are devious genius.
And he could just be like, I'm just trying to stay relevant.
I'm just trying to stay relevant, get out of all these contracts, and be Prince with a different symbol name or something.
Well, he's already done that. Yay.
Yeah, because now he's Ye. He's not Kanye. Yeah. So he said, why people keep calling me Kanye? I'm Ye. Yeah. So maybe this is him knowing exactly what he is doing.
Maybe.
Or it could be he's not. Yeah. And we don't know him. We never met the man. Not in anywhere near any of his circles to know. But those who are close to him should be able to know if this is him and him having this genius plan or him off of any kind of medication, and they should be trying to support him accordingly, because the last thing any of us want to hear is about something having happened to him.
Exactly. That's very true. So just some information about that. That was
I had first of all, I didn't know who those two guys were, so maybe I should have, but also that they got
I didn't know who they were either. Okay. I thought I looked them up. So I mean, they were on the news and everything. I think they were on like CNN or something like that, talking and like, you know, talking about the whole situation. I'd seen it on my social media, but I didn't know. I was like, it just said WLM, like these guys got the trademark of WLM, and I was just like, what is that?
Yeah, what is that? Right.
And then I never even put two and two together to get
that's what it was. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But that's all I wanted to say about that. So, what is your next one?
So I have. God forbid, the sex scandal that brought down a dynasty.
Wait, I watched this?
Did you watch? You watched the whole thing?
I think I watched it.
Like,
I can't remember if I fell asleep on it or not, because I started at like 10 o'clock at night or something.
So it's a documentary, and it's about the Falwells. So the Falwells who... you had Jerry Falwell Sr., and he's the one who started Liberty University as a pastor and evangelist. And then you have his son, who is Jerry Falwell Jr., who actually was running Liberty University most recently with his wife, Becky. And so basically this whole documentary is from the perspective of Giancarlo, who was the pool boy. Because he said everybody basically him, his sister in the documentary, they show reenactments with some actors pretending to be the Falwells. And so basically, and him in the movie, the reenactments, I don't think were him.
I think that the videos were actually her, though.
The videos were real videos.
Real
but
videos,
no, I'm saying the reenactments of
the
her
reenactments.
being at the pool trying to coerce him to come over and stuff. So basically the beginning, and this is like the first few minutes, is all about Giancarlo like sitting in front of a documentary, team, and him talking about the fact that he was in a 7-year relationship with the Falwells, and how he was working one summer while in college. College. I was going to say high school, but I think it was college.
Yeah, because I think he was 20.
Yeah, and he was working as a pool attendant in Miami at the Fontainebleau, which I've stayed there before. It's amazing. So anyway, he was there, and what happened was he said that he was realizing this older lady was videotaping him while he was, just doing his pool activities and talking to some of the young girls around the pool and stuff. And so he walked over and was like, "Why are you videoing me?" And she was basically like telling him because he was hot. And he was like, "Well, it's kind of cool being a young kid, not very experienced, being hit on by an older woman. I could tell she was a cougar."
What was it that she said? She said, why waste your time with the young ones when you can get like
somebody more experienced, something like that. So she invited him back to her hotel room. And so eventually he went back to her hotel room, and he said he was kind of shocked because the husband was just sitting there, hanging out. And she was like, "Don't mind him. He just likes to watch." And that's how it all starts.
That's it.
That's the documentary in a nutshell.
That's how it starts, and that's how it finishes.
But basically that was their 7-year relationship. That Jerry Falwell Jr. knew that his wife liked having affairs with younger, hot men.
Now, here's the thing. Is it that he liked to watch because he liked to be cuckold? Cuckold. That's what it's called. That's what they said in the documentary.
Oh. Yeah. They did get that, the definition.
Yeah. So, is it that he likes to watch?
Or she likes to
cheat? Or
does
she,
I think both.
You think both?
I think that they found the perfect pairing of someone who likes to watch with somebody who... I think they were swingers.
Yeah.
And that's what they said in the documentary, that they were telling him that they were swingers. Yeah. And so...
But it got weird.
No,
this is when it got weird, when he was sleeping on the floor.
Yeah.
Beside them while they're sleeping in the bed.
Yeah, they're sleeping in the bed, he's sleeping on the floor. Right. Exactly. It's a lot of strange things. Yeah. This whole documentary, I have to say, it was like you're watching it and it goes from the sex scandal to politics. Yeah. Like it is a flipping of a page.
Yeah.
It to gangsters. Like it's it's everywhere. And it was awe-inspiring to just know that these people who were talking about Christian values,
they're very
Christian
religious,
life, running a Christian school where the students would get in trouble for drinking alcohol, dressing too provocatively, and then you have the president and his wife.
You had to go to mass or something like that every day. Well, they had some like
convocation and different kinds of things that they had on campus.
To go like all the time. It's like, man.
Yeah, you had to pay fines and all that, but yet the president and his wife are doing that daily. Maybe hours.
So when they were talking about the fines, it seems like all the fines were for the girls.
It was mainly and there was a lawsuit against Liberty University because they said that it was discrimination against women, for a lack of a better way of saying it, and that women were like unfairly being not targeted, but just like, well, number one, they were getting raped on campus, and the guys were getting a little, like slap on the wrist, and then the girls were having to pay the fine. One girl had to pay the fine because she was drunk and he raped her, and they were like, well, you shouldn't have been drinking, and she got the fine. So it's crazy things like that come out in this documentary, but it goes from how, and I don't like to get political, but it literally goes into all of this.
It dives into it.
It dives into it a lot. Yeah. So basically, the Falwells met with Trump, and when he was not even running at this point, he was just somebody who had gotten or was pressing Obama to show his birth certificate. I think that's what they were saying. He was pressing Obama to show his birth certificate at this time. I think that was around the time. So it was long before he threw his name in the hat. So when Trump decided that he wanted to run, what happened is he was working with Michael Cohen, So Michael Cohen, as his, which we all know because he was part of Trump's, cabinet or whatever once he became president. So what happened is that Cohen ended up working with these mobsters that were involved with the Falwells, who all bought this property in Miami, a hostel in Miami. So the Falwells bought a property in Miami for the boy, for John Carlo, for him, so that he can become a millionaire, basically. Yeah. And they would kind of own him to a degree, because it's like,
no, it's not to a degree. They owned that boy.
But I'm saying it's more like he didn't see it that way when it was happening, because they were trying to manipulate him. So you're not going to talk about us in the press because you're tightly woven into us, and all your money is coming through us and our investment in you and this property. That he ended up connecting them with some gangsters that he didn't realize were gangsters, because he's new, he's green, he's fresh, he doesn't know who these people are. So anyway, the gangsters end up selling videos of the Falwells, or giving it away and selling it, because there was a lawsuit. So selling it to Michael Cohen. And when Trump was ready to run for president, they used the video and everything about what Becky and Jerry Jr. were doing to ensure that Falwell gave him the endorsement. Yep. So that is how Trump ended up on Liberty's campus. Falwell gave him the endorsement.
And then
I wouldn't say from the documentary. This is all, I'm assuming, not libel or anything, because it's all
I wouldn't say that the father-son duo were gangsters or mobsters or anything like that. I would say
hustlers.
Hustlers.
But one was in prison.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't mean
I guess more hustlers.
They were hustlers. They were con men.
Con men, that's a better
They were con men, because but they said that the father kept moving a lot. Like, they had a bunch of money, but he would buy a big house and then he would lose all the money. Yeah. And then buy another big house and then lose all the money. Yeah. Because he had to go he kept
gambling and doing stuff.
Yeah, but then also it's like you say you're going to invest this money, but then actually you don't. Yeah. So you just keep it for yourself and you spend it something else.
Yeah. So it. All I'll say, because it goes through so many layers, levels. I was looking at it saying, God forbid, because I was like,
he was crying. Remember, he had to get up and walk away because he was crying. Because he's really just like, I'm an idiot and I can't believe that this happened. He said, I wanted to unalive myself. I didn't want to be here anymore. He said, I wrote my letter and everything.
Suicide and everything, because number one, you worked as a pool boy for one summer. And when all this came out 7 years later, they still called you the pool boy.
Exactly.
I've been a pool boy since who knows how long.
But then and
then it stopped him from getting other jobs. To this day,
it stopped him. They stopped him too.
Yeah, I think they said they were stopping him, or Michael Cohen was stopping him.
I don't know.
Somebody was stopping him.
Somebody was stopping him. I don't know. The world was against him, and I think the world is probably still against him up until this documentary came out. Now I feel like
at least give his side of the story.
Yes, we can give his side of the story, and I'm
the truth will be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Yeah. But I mean, it was pretty deep how it all went into the thing.
Documentary, because I just heard it very high level. I just heard Jerry Falwell Jr. had some pictures of a girl who was on the campus, and she was in his kitchen, half dressed. I saw that part.
Yeah, when she had her pants were unbuttoned and his pants were unbuttoned.
This is a whole other young girl.
Oh yeah, yes, right, yeah.
Okay. Then you had the picture of him with his pants unbuttoned and whatever, and then the woman's pants unbuttoned, which he said, it's just because she's pregnant, she had pulled her pants, she had unbuttoned her pants because she was pregnant. So I was doing the same thing. I had eaten too much, and so I was like, I'm pregnant
and
too.
then it was like,
but then they were like, but you got alcohol in your hands, and you're a reverend, and you're...
and then it was like, you can clearly hear that you're drunk because you're slurring.
Oh, yeah, when he tried to explain it, he was super drunk. Yeah. So, and they played that in the documentary, too. And so, there's going to be people who are saying, hey, it's all a conspiracy. They're just trying to get after these people. Maybe it's because they supported Trump, whatever. You have to watch the documentary.
I'm just telling you what it is.
I'm just telling what I saw.
Yeah.
And so...
it's very deep. It's very deep.
Yeah. And so, it is something that, I don't know, all I can say is, check it out. It was mind-boggling to me just because of the hypocrisy and the audacity. It's almost like he was so rich for so long because of his father being Jerry Falwell that Oh, it goes into racism. It goes in a bunch of stuff. A lot of different directions. So, but because of being so rich for so long, it was almost like I am untouchable.
Yeah.
And because of that philosophy, the crazy decisions that were made were probably logical to them. Because even when this all started coming out and the guy started finally telling his story, he got a call from Becky, the woman he'd been sleeping with for 7 years.
Yeah, right.
They wouldn't even let him go when he wanted to leave. They were like, you're going to keep sleeping with her. We're going to get rid of all your girlfriends and make it very hard for you to have a girlfriend.
Yeah, you know, you love her. That's all right. She doesn't have to know. It's like, bro.
Yeah, it was everything. So, but basically she's just like, see what you've done now. I hope you're happy. Jerry had to put in his notice today at the university. And it's like, no, this is based on y'all.
And
y'all have been... Now, I'm not the only person y'all sleeping with.
So it was some, but it was some stuff that was said where it was like, you know, Jerry Jr., he was not built for what his father built.
Yes.
Like, he was not built to run the empire that his father built.
He was not the one to have done that, which just goes to say that just because your parent does something doesn't mean that you necessarily have to go into that same field.
Exactly.
It's not your passion.
Exactly.
And obviously... Yes, he knew the religion. Yes, he knew scripture and words, and he could quote Luke, or John or Mark or any of those things. However, it was not his passion because of all the other things that he had going on. It was almost like, this is my job.
Yeah, exactly.
But then my life is all this other torrid stuff that I like to do.
Yeah, because it wasn't even his lifestyle. Because his lifestyle was everything outside of Liberty University.
Yes, and it was everything.
And his father's lifestyle was everything in Liberty University. Exactly. So they were total opposites.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, that was what I had. So I didn't mean to talk about it for so long, but it was just so... Well, I guess we both...
I know, we both talk about it. We're
talking about different parts of it. But yeah, so God forbid, and it's the... how does it say it? It's the... I forgot how they said it. Oh, the sex scandal that took down a dynasty. Yeah. That was the part I was looking for. All right, your last one.
All right, so now my official last one. All right, so this one is The School for Good and Evil. It's on Netflix, and let me tell you something. Netflix got money.
They got money.
Because when you hear this cast, okay?
Is it large?
Large. It is. Shout out to Quentin Brunson. Okay, so let me name some people that are on the cast. Okay. Cate Blanchett. Okay. Patti LuPone. Uh-huh. Charlize Theron. Yep. Kerry Washington. Uh-huh. Lawrence Fishburne. Mm. And then you have two of the younger leads, which is Sophia Ann Caruso and Sophia Wiley. Okay, let me tell you something. I loved it and hated it at the same time because I'm like, why am I watching this?
Yeah, because it's a period piece.
But no, it is a mythical. Mm-hmm. It's a mythical.
Like a Harry Potter school.
Yes.
Okay. For girls.
For good and evil, no.
Oh, for good and evil.
For good and evil. So I was like, why am I watching this? But then you got the cast. Yeah. I'm like, I gotta watch it. Mm-hmm. It's Patti LuPone in there. Mm-hmm. So, all right. So what it is like,
Patti LuPone is in everything.
Because she is.
We're gonna talk about that.
We're gonna have to talk. We're gonna have to do a Patti LuPone day.
There you go. Yeah.
PP day, PLP day. All right, so what it is so it's two best friends that grew up in a poor, like, mythical village, and they have been taken by this magical school. There's a wishing tree. You make a wish at the tree, and then like this big bird thing that looks like it's decaying and dying comes and swoops you up and drops you off into the myth. Yeah, but at this school, it's one side's good, one side's evil.
So where the bird drops you?
Yeah, it's just wherever you're supposed to be at. So this is the thing. So it was supposed to be only one girl wanted to go. Get it? Cool. Then her friend's like, no, wait, no, come, wait, no, don't go. Mm-hmm. And now it's both of them. Oh. So now with both of them, now they have dropped in what they think are opposite sides. Okay. So the one who's just like, I don't care about anything but like me, my mom, and that's it. She's supposed to be on the evil side. Okay. That's what you hear the whole movie. Okay. And then you have the other one who is like, she has blonde hair. She's very pretty. And, she's prettiest girl in the village. She's supposed to be on the good side. What happens? Swap. Oh.
so they're not on the side that they thought
Yeah,
they were
that
on.
exactly. So I mean, it gets into that, and they're trying to leave. It's always like true love's first kiss and all of the blah blah blah.
I
So
can't believe you're watching that. Now that I think of
yeah,
that.
but it was just because of the cast. I didn't know what I was watching when I first started watching it.
Of course.
I mean,
Did you watch the trailer?
No, I didn't. I just saw Charlize Theron and Kerry Washington.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, this got to be good." And I started watching. I was like, "Wait, what is this?" And I was like, "Well, I kind of want to see how it all pans out." It is like a 17-hour movie, though. I swear, it just felt like it's never ending. I think it might be. God, let me see how long it was. It might be like a 2.5, 3-hour movie.
Oh, I doubt it.
I mean, it was long. It was pretty long. Let's see. All right, so the movie is 2 hours and 27 minutes.
Oh, yeah, 2.5 hours.
Yes.
Right.
So, but how the movie all comes out and comes into play, very cute.
Is it good?
It's
That's the thing.
so
Because
it is.
Looking at Rotten Tomatoes. And
Yeah, I mean it. I mean, if it's gonna be a movie, it's gonna be a family movie. Yes.
Okay.
It's like it's nothing to where. I mean, this could be basically rated. Well, this is PG-13, but I mean, it could just be PG for real.
Okay.
I don't think there's any cussing or anything in there.
It's kissing.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. But yeah. So I mean, I thought it was cute for what it was. Netflix, like I said, they got money for them to have. Like, how do you have all these greats in a movie? And I mean, like, granted, they're not in the movie the whole time because the two younger Sophias are the main characters. Yeah. But I mean, it's cute how it all pans out. Yeah. But what they do have in there that's kind of like crazy is kind of being like, oh, that's a little dark. That's probably what makes it the PG-13 is the fact that when you are trying to be good or evil, you fail. Then they will turn you into something. Oh. But like you don't. A
dog or a goat or something.
One kid turned into a bird. Oh. Okay. But this was like the big bird that swooped him up. That had like a pterodactyl, but just like holes and everything, and like the eyes, like no eyes. There were fish that were in the wishing pond, but the fish in the. Yeah. So it's so crazy. Yeah. So that is a thing. But I just wanted to mention that School for Good and Evil on Netflix. I thought it was good. Lawrence Fishburne, though he's not in it like much, he does do a good job. I mean,
Larry.
Yeah, Larry. But yeah, I mean, watch it. Okay. Watch it though. It's a little family movie. Like, it's cute. Okay. It's long.
Something to think about for sure. Oh, and
it's long.
So
it's
when the kids sit still long enough.
Get some snacks. Get some snacks.
Snacks.
Yeah.
Ice cream. Yeah. Wine. Something.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
But all right, everybody. Well, that's another episode of
Sestra-Tainment.
Everybody have a wonderful week. This is our 50th.
50.
We are 50.
Woo!
So very exciting time. So everybody have a wonderful week. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Bye.